All right, chat. It took a little bit again, but I think we got it. Again, the forward lines for this year. I'm still not confident in my decision trying to run all four of these left wings or even Chance's fourth line center instead of sending him back down, but it is what it is. Defense, Dickinson, York, Hartman, Bouchard, Carpenter, Kostopoulos. Same thing with Carpenter. A little bit worried about holding on to him instead of trading him. Power play-wise, it's fully optimized, again, with the plan of Perry, Wellwood getting power play time, as well as Carpenter, who typically wouldn't be there, but at least it's, an attempt. Harenstam and Noonan. We'll hope this Noonan guy can be better than he was previously, and then the AHL, again, mainly bolstered by those 3 golds that we hope develop. I mean, Pettersson's looking good, but if either Ekholm, Larson, or both develop, we'll be feeling pretty good about ourselves. It's another season of Toronto Maple Leafs hockey. We finally made it to the conference final last year. Lost in 7 at home to Pittsburgh after a 57-win season. What will this year be? I do not have the answer. But what will this season be? Henrique again. What is going on, buddy? How's it going? Ask me in about 10 minutes when we somehow don't make the playoffs with the super team. I'm going to say give it about 10 minutes. By the way, our rankings for the season, 99, 90, and an 85. Case in point about the super team. Case in point. Oh, good. And Washington signed Thomas Chabot. So maybe Ottawa won't be goated this year. To December 1st we go. 57 wins last season. What's it going to be this year? Stefan Backstrom, our secondary goalie in the AHL, gets injured. Again, it's Morgan Riley, Sidney Crosby, Chris Tanev, and Bo Horvat as the coaches for the Marlies. I don't want to talk about anything else right now other than the Marlies. Logan Cooley gets injured in what was our first loss of the season. 11-0 to start the year. Setting the bar way too damn high. And our first loss is a game in which Logan Cooley gets hurt. Bruce Miller typically would step into play for him, but to be honest, we're going to bump up Lume and Chance. Again, Chance. Such a great name. Wow. Javon Noonan. Javon Noonan's been okay. Let's keep it going. And unfortunately, Logan Cooley appears to be a pretty important part of our team. Cooley is back. That incredibly hot start has simmered a little bit. Now, hasn't it? Let's get Cooley back in there. 9 points in 17 games for Chance. Not bad at all. Again, he does have PK time. He doesn't have power play time. So December 1st, 14-4-1. We are technically 3-4-1 in our last 8 games, which is not insane. Captain Cam getting it done. We are actually just the second best team in the division right now, but we have 3 games at hand on Tampa. Most wins I've ever gotten in a season. There were some Detroit teams we had back on like NHL 18 that I swear won 70 games. They were close. We have had 60-win teams, though. Ullman, 10 points in 19 games. Not bad, not amazing. Misa, 18 and 19. Again, as per usual, it is scoring by committee as opposed to having one outrageously elite player, which has kind of been the setup. Dickinson looking very, very good next to Cam York. Hartman, I mean, gold truck. You knew he'd take some penalties. He's looked pretty good next to Bouchard, though. Carpenter and Kostopoulos is not working. And I am now regretting trading Panay. Because we shouldn't have. I think it's bad to have your whole team high overalls. Oh, yeah, your team can be way too good for the sim. 100%. 100%. We could try Brian Roloff. Yeah, no, I mean, there's definitely the idea is like, okay, the better your team is, the more disappointing it is if they fail, which is a real thing. At the same time, it's also a video game, and you'd like to win when you feel like you deserve to. But yeah, you have a built-in defense. We are going to sim to January 1st of 2032. And we'll take it from there in regards to potential lineup changes. Honestly, we might even just wait until the deadline to kind of see where we stand. We're still doing very, very well for ourselves. 25-7-1. First place in the division as of the new year. So we're not as dominant as last year, but we are currently the top team in the NHL. It's us in Seattle. Arizona's in the running too. But the defending champion Kraken very much in the mix. And again, it's York and Bouchard leading the way. Cooley is our only forward over a point per game pace. Wellwood and Shantz are doing pretty well together on that lower line. York, Bouchard, Dickinson. Again, Carpenter a -6. Goaltending hasn't been great. We're used to that. We are very, very used to subpar goaltending, aren't we? We'll go to February 1st. Like, the problem is we're winning. Same thing as last year. Oh, I call him. That's a shame. He's not up for too long. The problem is that we're winning, and you don't want to tinker too much. Do we want to go forward with the idea of picking up help when last year you could argue that it backfired on us? By the way, I'm pretty sure Ekholm's gone up by like 10 overall points so far this year. Weren't these guys 50s? 55s? Like, we are getting that development from Ekholm and from Larson, I think. At least that seems to be the case, from what I remember. Wellwood's up to an 86. Wellwood's up to an 86 on the fourth line. Ekholm was a 57. Fair enough. Yeah, we're going to have some decisions to make. I don't know if it'll be at this deadline. But we have some decisions to make. I'm aware of progress reports, but the point was to ask people to save time. Machis Kuba fractures his jaw. He'll be out for about a week and a half. I am now officially panicking as to whether or not we should have traded him. Not that we still can't. Obviously, we'll make the switch there on the wings after the injury. Carpenter's a -11. He has been a trash bag. I bounce back and forth between having injuries on and off. Depends on the series, the challenge. I mean, Kuba's been very, very good, though. At least from that plus-minus perspective. I think it's pretty much going to go right to the deadline in terms of if we're going to maybe look to move someone out to capitalize on the value that they have while they still have it versus trying to add if we can. We certainly don't have the craziest amount of cap space this year to pull off moves like we did last year. Crushing it. We just stomped Matthews and the Coyotes. One loss in the month of January, 44-12-2. Tough to say we should strip away anything from this team. Best team in the league over the Coyotes by 1 point, and we have 2 games at hand. It's us and the Coyotes at the top, and we just beat them 8-1. Not bad. We cannot get consistent goaltending, though, and it's giving me a goddamn headache. Sam Dickinson has been very, very good. Very, very good indeed. Cam York has been insane. Absolutely insane. Cam Hartman, the rookie, a plus 54. Bouchard at a plus 41. Again, 76 points. Absolutely insane. Carpenter is back to just a minus 4. He was a minus 11 at one point. And then Kostopoulos also looking okay. So Carpenter is the big question. He's the big question mark. Wellwood again up to an 86. Kuba an 88. That left side is insane. Let's go look at the forwards from the other perspective. So we still, again, don't have a forward now over a point per game. Plus minuses are absolutely insane. Our lowest point getter is Weeks, who has 19 points on the season on the 4th line, which means I'm aiming for him to have about 20. We have 6 20-goal scorers already. Lowest amount of goals is Weeks with 5. So literally everybody on the team has double digits in terms of goals, except for one guy. It is victory by committee. The question is, at the deadline, what do we do? Because we were in the same exact spot last year. And honestly, it worked last year. Connor Bedard's leading the NHL in terms of points. No surprise there. Goal scoring king, Connor Bedard. And former Leaf, now Vegas Golden Knight, Mark Hartigan. Still don't necessarily regret letting go of him as a 50-60 point guy, given the frickin' struggles that we have already. I don't know, you could argue 36 goals would be pretty nice, but I don't think he'd have 36 goals on our team. Defensively, it's Bouchard, New York. Almost head and shoulders above everybody else. And then in goal, it's still Safronov on Arizona. Shutout leader is Vanacek. Save percentage king, Joseph Wall. And then Vitek Vanacek having a second career resurgence. It's the most surprising thing I've experienced playing franchise mode. Robin Ustorf leading the way for rookies. It is still, if you go back, and it happened a couple of years ago, and I will link it, because why not? I will link it, because if you search Tougie best draft pick on YouTube, the best draft pick in EA NHL history. And it is still. Now, this video is from a time before I knew what the hell lighting was. But yeah, there you go. There you go. Trade deadline. Trade deadline coming up. We beat the Ducks. Vancouver. Philadelphia the day before the deadline. As Michael Misa is going to miss the rest of the regular season, potentially, with a concussion. To the trade deadline we go. Hello, David Pasternak. Okay. Let's see what's out there. Let's see what's out there for the hell of it. Zellweger is a left defender, but Jesus, is he struggling. You can't tell me he's going to be much better than Carpenter. Coyotes. I mean, David Pastrnak for that right-hand side. We would have to get rid of a younger player to do it. They're trying to get rid of Edward Sale, too. David Pastrnak for that right side, man. You have anybody else? Yelanin, Gulyayev. Another left defender. Dylan Dubé. William Eklund, Nathan McKinnon, Corson Coolmans after all this time. He has term left, though. McKinnon does not, but yeah, the Avalanche are looking to blow it up. I mean, McKinnon would be interesting. McKinnon would be interesting. Pastrnak would be interesting. Zach Werenski would be interesting. $14 million, 3 years left. He's not that interesting. Darnell Nurse, whose overall has really started to fall off. Oh, baby, we cashed out on Darnell Nurse at the right time. Poor Darnell, but good for Darnell. Good for Darnell. We helped him get that one big payday. Timothy Liljegren. Islanders, Danilo Yurov. I mean, there are definitely players out there. I just argue how much better the defenders are, for example, than who we already have and have in the system. Anthony Honka's out there. Atu Ratu. Brendan Brisson, Mercer, Hedel. I mean, there's definitely names. There are definitely names. What about goalies? Dustin Wolf. 905. Emil Vinny. Wolf has 1 year left. They'd have to retain. Devin Levi. Ooh, Linus Ullmark and David Pastrnak as the double from Boston. Might not be the worst idea. Oh yeah, Ivanov. That Boston double. Vanacek's available from Florida, and we know he's had a very good season. Very good season. Emerton really fucking developed, didn't he? Okay. I think I know. Freaking Blomqvist, who was fantastic last year for the cup-winning champ Seattle. Just kidding. He was average as all hell, but still won a cup, and I hate it. Tristan Jarry. He's someone I was interested in. He's super inconsistent in the playoffs, though. But he did win cups with Arizona. He did win cups with Arizona. Boston. Ullmark. Pastrnak. Because I'm not too worried about the development of anybody on this side. I mean, obviously, like someone like Weeks would be taken out of the lineup. Clapperton would be dropped down to the fourth line. They don't deserve that. But man, you get a chance to add David Pastrnak, you have to try, right? It's just the Bruins would have to be willing to retain 50% salary on these guys. But we're at the point where we're desperate. I'll scratch certain people or play them much lower than they deserve to be played, if it means we finally get over the hump and win this damn thing. So goalie-wise, I think we can move on from Noonan. Although Noonan actually hasn't been that bad. It would actually have to be the Aiden Hill swap out for Ullmark. Boston would have too few goalies. How the fuck do you figure? We'd be swapping goalies. They have 2 goalies right now. Good. Okay, good. So trading for Allmark is broken. All right, well. So then it would be a David Pastrnak acquisition. Is it worth it? Left wing, we're already far too stacked up. Center is where the help would make sense because we're now missing Michael Misa. I think we have to look at center instead. And the top option that I saw out there was Nathan MacKinnon. Like, we saw what a veteran center could do last year with Zibanejad, who was pretty damn good in the playoffs. McKinnon's got 1 year left on this deal. Can we pick up Nathan MacKinnon? Could you send the goalie in the pasta trade and then they'd have 4 acquire? So the problem is, though, they have a goalie in junior. So he's technically signed, but he doesn't count against it, which is why they're like, oh, we'd have too few goalies. That's the issue. Because EA. GG's. Okay. Really quickly. What do we got here? Who do we got here? Really nobody amazing. Really nobody amazing. In terms of that lower value. Jenner certainly doesn't look like he's going to develop. I'm going to hold on to Larson. Tanguay has a bit of value. Holmes, we can wait. Not sure we're going to run out of trash prospects to trade. Yep, but right now, doesn't appear to be that time. Jenner and Tanguay as the starter. I can give up one of these goalies or our own first round pick. I mean, we have Eriksson, who's better than Wilford. Let's look to give up Wilford in the deal. Bring on Nathan MacKinnon for the rest of the season. I mean, the Sabres are certainly looking to tear down anyway. Safety net this a little bit. Take out a 5th. It should be like a 3rd and a 6th. Never mind. Jenner, Tanguay, Wilford for MacKinnon in a 3rd. Nathan MacKinnon, welcome to Toronto. Now, we got a little bit of time left to go talk to the Florida Panthers, who have that safety net goalie that I want in the form of Vitek Vanacek, who has been phenomenal this year. And if we can get them to retain, it'll be even better. We can swap them over Aiden Hill. And we had Thomas, who is not great. Yeah, we can move him. Thomas and Hill for Vanacek. Jesus Christ. And people say I fucking pick Horde? Look at the Florida Panthers. Don't act like I'm not doing anything that the AI don't already do themselves. Good Lord. There we go. Vanacek, welcome in. As we add a bit of insurance, I mean, Jesus, we just added Nathan MacKinnon as a veteran. I don't know what that will mean for someone like Shantz in the playoffs. We'll figure it out when the time comes. Left wing side's good. Right wing side's good. But do we again, we don't technically need anything else, but fuck need. I'm talking about pushing this team over the edge in terms of just absurd depth. David Pastrnak. Can I pull this off too? Can I pull off a trade for David Pastrnak? I don't know how the hell I'm going to afford this, but I'm certainly going to try. And apparently I might be able to afford this. We obviously have our first rounder to use. I'm going all in. this year. 100% we're going all in. Larson's that low elite with the gold. I don't want to get rid of him after one season. Same with Ekholm, but man, using these guys to get Pasternak. The problem is if they actually develop, then fuck, we missed out. But I'm going to risk them. Our own first, and then these two long shot prospects who might actually develop to try and pick up David Pasternak as a rental. Safety netted a little bit. Quite far off, okay. Strip away these picks. Still quite far off. Okay, we got to give up a little bit more. It's worth it, though. It is worth it. We'll give up our latest third rounder. We're a bit off. It should take a fourth to do it. A first, a third, a fourth, Larson and Ekholm for David Pasternak. Done deal. We're going all in. We are going all in. This has to be the year. It has to be. Because next year, there are players I have to move on from. I don't know how the hell I still have $4 million in cap space. No idea. Noonan, Harenstam, Vanacek, even Bartovich. Somebody has to be able to make a save in the playoffs. And honestly, we could still look for a defensive upgrade. We could. We have depth in every position. We got a little bit of time left in this deadline. I know Zellweger's out there. Go back over to this. Is there anybody other than Zellweger? Anthony Honka, 4 years left, so fuck that. Carson Lambos, none of these guys are on expiring deals. Might have to be Zellweger. I was hoping to see like an Owen Power out here or somebody like that, but it's not. Zellweger is a lefty, but he's an improvement on who we have playing third pair lefty right now, at least in theory. Yeah, I think we're pretty much locked in. Expiring deal for Zellweger, too. Let's try it. Let's try it. I am going to stock up this team as best I can to try and make this happen this year. I mean, my God, we've added David Pasternak and Nathan McKinnon at the same deadline. Can you tell we're all in? Let's add Boudreaux to the deal. That guy's not that great. There's also Holmes, who isn't that great. Hicketts isn't going to improve that much. So we can use Boudreaux. We can use Hicketts. We could use Schultz as well, if not the likes of Saugus and Vanainen, who aren't that good. Boudreaux, Hicketts, Saugus, Vanainen. Let me take out Hicketts. I would be over the cap, apparently. All right, the Zellweger push might just be a bridge too far. I don't think I have time to risk trade a guy to do this and get that and so on and so forth. So I think we're locked in. We're locked in. Another absurd deadline. Pure desperation is where we're at right now. I'll be doing a draft gallery for NHL. I mean, I think I did one this year. Pretty sure I did one this year. We're actually not going to pick up Lundstrom, even though I technically have space. Goalies are set. Defense is ultimately set. We'll bump up Korolev again. Actually, we'd be over the cap. Oh boy, this could be close. If it sent anybody down. Which it didn't, aside from Miller. So the cap is technically looking a little bit wonky, but it's okay. It only sent down our depth options. I don't know if I'm going to prioritize the power play for the rest of the regular season. Wow, it actually scratches Ullman. That's insane. I don't think I'm going to optimize it for the rest of the regular season. Look at this fucking team. If this team can't do it. What do you think is more important for franchise mode? Better defense or better forwards? Reliable, high-scoring forwards. Because in terms of the reliability part, difficult to find. Defense stays the same. Harenstam hasn't been great. He'll sit for the rest of the regular season, most likely. Vanacek and Noonan. In goal, Weeks ends up being a healthy scratch, which I don't feel good about. The only other option is to drop Mateo Shantz back to junior, which might not be the worst option in the world. And apparently if I send him down, we'll be over the cap. So I have 100% completed a broken roster here. This team is broken. And we are pretty much locked into what we have. Holy shit, 2+5s. So Ullman, McKinnon, Pasternak, Kuba, Cooley, Michkov. Jesus. Shout out to Fuzz Butthead for the follow. Let's finish up this season. And we'll see again if we have a post-deadline slump based off of the new additions. But the injury to Michael Misa really kind of forced our hand. Gordy Clapperton gets hurt, which in all honesty just means Weeks gets to play. If there was someone to get hurt, I would probably want it to be him. Leo Banak is injured. A lot of injuries down in the AHL. A lot of injuries in the AHL. We'll just keep going best lines for the Marlies and get them set up for the playoffs. Clapperton's healthy. We'll probably sub him back in. But yeah, this is the only season I can get away with this in terms of risking prospect development. Like, this is the last shot of a super team. 54, 14, and 4. Cam York has 91 points in 72 games. We have already clinched a playoff spot. Obviously. And as it stands, we are neck and neck with the Coyotes again for the President's Trophy. We actually have more wins, but they are 2 points above, even though we have 2 games at hand. We thought last year was going to be the showdown between us and the Coyotes. Were we off by a year? Well, Chad, it's been a good run. It's been a good run. We have fun here. It's been a good run. Cam York is likely out for the first round of the playoffs. Michael Meese is now healthy as we beat the Coyotes in a shootout. I hate it here. Who's playing defense right now? Weeks is playing defense, and he's actually a good fit. No kidding. No kidding. We're just going to let Derek Weeks keep playing. I don't know who the hell comes out of the lineup. I do feel like it has to be Shantz. Fuck. I'll take Shantz out for Misa. Obviously, we're going to have to make adjustments for the playoffs. Right now, it's so close to the end of the season, it's not worth making those adjustments. So let's just get the season over with. 120 points. One win away from 60. And there it is. Our best record to date. You would hope so with a team that looks like this. 62, 16, and 4. We said it was probably our last shot at doing something like this. Detroit will play Ottawa. Tampa Bay, I believe, will play us. 92 points, yeah. Washington will play New York. Columbus plays Philadelphia. Vegas plays Vancouver. 88 points for the Kings. They will play Arizona. Winnipeg obviously plays the division winner there, and St. Louis plays Minnesota. We take the President's Trophy on tiebreaker, despite winning 3 more games than the Coyotes. It is destiny that we have a showdown with Arizona in the Stanley Cup Final. It is fucking destiny. Only 2 teams to score. Look at the difference between third place and then second place and first place in terms of goals for. I've never seen a gap like that. Goals against average. We were 4th. Coyotes were 2nd. Washington actually allowed under 200 goals. Our power play was at 30%, best in the league. Our PK at 83%, which was about top 10. In terms of the points, we know Cam York obviously got hurt. David Pastrnak, as a Leaf, 27 points in 21 games. Probably, yeah, I built 2 elite teams. You're right. That's my legacy of this franchise mode. I built the Coyotes and the Leafs at the same damn time. Pasta was amazing. Michkov, close to a point per game. I think this was Michkov's best season. It was. Broke 70 points for the first time. Logan Cooley, just under point per game. His best regular season since coming to Toronto. Perry, 70 points. Career high. And ties his career high in goals. Back-to-back 35-goal seasons. Kuba, career high in points. Still just an 88. He went up a point this year. That concerns me. How'd you get Cooley? Some stupid trade. Involving 3 of my roster players who weren't working out, basically, but were good. Misa, point per game for Jar Jar. But injured, of course. Nathan McKinnon, 19 points in 21 games as a Leaf. Ullman had 60 points, 43 goals. Salmonen, 35 goals, 59 points. Wellwood, 43 points as a rookie. There's no way he can be on the 4th line next year. Jesus, Marian Hossa. Clapperton had a great season. Lume had a great season. Weeks had a really solid season. Shantz had a pretty good season on the 4th line. I mean, how can you complain? Look at how many players had at least 20 goals. All but 4. Defensively, missing out on Cam York hurts a lot, but Evan Bouchard stepped up in his absence. Dickinson, a plus 66. He was insane. Carpenter turned it around. He had a real bad start to the season, but he turned it around. Cam Hartman, plus 59 as a rookie. 102 penalty minutes. And Kostopoulos, plus 23 on the year. Goalie-wise, Noonan. How did Vanacek do as a Leaf? 9-17 with a 2.41 goals against average, 5-0-2. Vanacek is probably getting the start in game 1. Probably. Around the league, Connor Bedard leads the way. Austin Matthews there as well. Only 3 100-point getters this year. The scoring, as always, so inconsistent. 60 goals for Bedard and Hughes. Obviously 68, to be more precise, for Bedard. Defensively, P.O. Joseph. He wouldn't have finished with the most points if it wasn't for the injury to Cam York. York might still win the Vezina based on a plus 61 plus minus. So, and then Bouchard's up there too. Goal scorers, 26 for all the top three there. God damn. 2 26 goal scoring defensemen for Buffalo. Winningest goalie, Safronov in Arizona. The Norris, what did I say? Who the fuck knows? I said the Calder, probably. 8 shutouts for Kochetkov. Noted Vezina winner Cam York. Oh, good. I said Vezina. Neat. Hey, what are you going to do? I mean, he should win the fucking Vezina, let's be honest. Vanacek might win the Norris. Vanacek might win the Norris. You never know. Rookie of the year, likely to be Braden Windquist. Obviously for Wellwood, had he been put into a better position. Honestly, Wellwood with the plus 17 might have it. Despite the 5-point difference, you never know. You never know. Absolutely insane, absurd banana sandwiches season. We know who it'll be in round 1 because we've seen them so often. It's the Tampa Bay Lightning again. But Cam York is not healthy enough to play. And that really, really sucks.